So let's look at today's outcomes. You will understand the characteristics of a complex text for instructional purposes. And then you are going to look at writing strategies and ways to engage with that text at your grade level. And you're going to create the 3 moments of a lesson. You're going to be thinking about the big idea as you do this today. Writing is the use of language as an expression of students' thinking and learning. And certainly, the essential questions that are in red will be addressed. How is writing an indicator of the students' new learning? And that means that the students are doing the work, not the teacher. And we know that writing is a struggle for students, but copying is not the way to go. You want the students to think critically about what they've just read and write about it in their own words. And when we do this, students are more engaged with the complex text. Certainly, a teacher will facilitate, but it is the student who must engage with the text. And finally, when they engage, it promotes their ability to internalize and apply the new academic language from this text. And we must also have our ELD strategies in mind when we're working with the text and how students need to interact in meaningful ways. So these are the pieces in collaborative that we will be using today in red. And here's the interpretive: to read closely, to listen actively, to evaluate, and finally, what will the students be producing? What's the productive? And that's expressing information and composing and writing about the informational text. And then we look at how English works. And we want them to look at how texts are structured and notice the type of language and how it's cohesive within a certain text type. And that students will be connecting and condensing ideas in order to write about the text they've read. So going back 3 years ago to our first module, we worked on text analysis. And we learned about how computers help us with the quantitative measures, and that's what you get your lexile. But that's really only part of what makes a text complex. It seems like that's all people talk about. But most important for the teacher are to look at the characteristics. How hard is the understanding, the meaning? What's its structure? Look at that language. Is it clear? What am I going to have to help students with? And is this new knowledge? How can I help them to prepare to learn something new? And then we look at our students and what tasks they must accomplish during the reading of this text, and how can we motivate them. So this is what we're going to be doing today, is using text analysis to create a great lesson. So why is text analysis important? And so please read this from chapter 2 in our new framework. And after that, on page 46 and 47, you will see some different ways students can engage with complex text. So do that right now. And when you're through, you can continue with this session.